Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the Atlanta Falcons. I'll see you again with scores and updates at halftime. But for now, it's my distinct pleasure to hand things over to our broadcast team. It's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. Gentlemen.
First opened in 2017. There's a look at the beautiful state-of-the-art Mercedes-Benz Stadium here in Atlanta, GA. A moment ago, here was the scene. The Falcons coming out from their tunnel to the roar of all the folks here in Atlanta. We're ready for football as these Falcons get set to match up with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. Up in the booth with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden, and kickoff straight ahead, CD. What's one thing that you're going to have your eye on?
I think about what the great coaches of the past always said. The key to any ball game. Can you rush theirs and protect yours? Well, in this case, both of these teams get after the quarterbacks. I'm watching the pass rush.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Time to get a peek at Russell Wilson, quarterback bringing out the Seattle Seahawks offense. Week 6, 4-point victory over Cleveland. Russell Wilson was 5 yards shy at 300 at 295 and also 2 touchdown passes. He continues to do his thing in 2019.
14 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions on the year. And I love how you said, let's get a peek at him. You and I both know, both eyes are wide open when Russell Wilson is on the field. And that game against Cleveland, he and the Seattle offense, they were really challenged, weren't they? The lead kept going back and forth. He led the late drive to get the win on the road.
This is Chris Carson, 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at second down. And one of the big bodies helping out this offense is your boy, Upati.
And all he wants to do is have running plays called. Fire out and smack people.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They run the counter. Carson only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6. The starting defense for the Falcons.
Edge rusher Takars McKinley gets our attention right now. Had a very solid season in 2018 with 7 sacks, but really expects to make a jump. Eager to get to double digits in 2019 and beyond. New defensive coordinator, it's his head coach, Dan Quinn.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. From the shotgun, Wilson. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Grady Jarrett making his presence felt. He gets the sack.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
Fourth down, and out is the all-pro punter from a year ago, Michael Dixon, to punt for Seattle. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb.
Come on, set. 15, run.
A carry for Devontae Freeman, who missed most of last season. And he was very fortunate there to get out of his end zone. He maybe got back to the 2-yard line.
Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. Because I remember playing in these spots, and my coaches always say, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure.
On second down, Freeman. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
They've got to do a better job up front and create some space because they're right there, almost literally on their own goal line.
Just a couple of feet away from a safety. That could have been disastrous. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on third down. They run. Devontae Freeman. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. Well, we thought these two defenses, they might come to play. One has already come to play here. A safety for the opening points of the game.
Brandon, let's file this play away because if it turns out to be a tight game, who knows? This could wind up being the difference.
After the safety, remember, they also need to give up the football, and here's the free kick. Fielded just inside the 20. Seattle's offense takes the field again. It's an offense that has been humming in 2019. They've scored at least 21 points in every game. They've also liked playing the AFC North. Week 6 with that win over the Browns, that makes them 3-0 against the division. And they're going for the sweep of the division in Week 7 when they host Baltimore.
Almost sounds like college football, doesn't it? When you beat teams within your state and you say state champs, even if you're not in the same division or in the same conference. But I love this start. Their best start since 2013 at 5-1. But 4 of their 5 wins have been by 4 points or fewer. Some people may view that as a negative. I view it as a positive. This is a mentally tough football team.
And the upcoming schedule, we mentioned the Baltimore game, then at Atlanta, home for Tampa Bay before the big one at San Fran. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. 2nd and 10 now, Wilson. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's third down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
On third down, Wilson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Well, that's how you convert on third down with an explosive gain of 34.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Here's Carson. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Carson, who was a 1,000-yard rusher a season ago, has picked up the pace this year after a slow start. 3 straight 100-yard games. Most recently, Week 6, 124 yards and the game-winning score in the 4-point win over Cleveland on the road. On second down, it's Carson, and he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. A much different second drive here, Charles. They go 3 and out the first time. This time they've been able to sustain something downfield.
And that's what often happens. You get the game started. You know, you have to get your footing underneath you. You have to get used to the flow of the game, the speed of the game. And sometimes that first drive is more of a probing drive. It appears they found something here in the second one.
This throw complete. Wilson finding Lockett. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. That catch certainly easier than the one Tyler Lockett made in the back left corner of the end zone in the Thursday night win over the Rams in Week 5. My goodness, that was incredible. In fact, the advanced metrics called it the most improbable catch in the NFL in the last 2 years. And if for some reason you missed it, look it up. Pretty impressive. On second down now, it's Carson. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first. The first drive this unit had, they punted. This drive, much more polished, just looking crisper, aren't they, moving the ball?
Maybe the first drive was a little bit of a wake-up call. Probably a little bit angry that they had to punt the ball away the first time they had it. Got motivated, got to the sideline, said, okay, let's not let that happen here as we take over again.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A 12-yard touchdown grab. Here the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? RAC?
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
Myers connects on the PAT, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that drive in total 8 plays, and the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This is taken at the 3. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here come the Falcons set to get the ball back. Let's revisit their 1-5 start to the season that we were discussing earlier, Charles. That's their worst start since 2007, the year before they drafted Matt Ryan.
I remember that well because there was so much controversy about drafting Matt Ryan on such a bad team, but they actually drafted him, added some good free agents, drafted Sam Baker at left tackle, and went to the playoffs the very next year. This team's got to get it together in a hurry, though, because they've allowed, 34.5 points per game in their latest 4-game losing streak. And then they have the Rams coming up this week, home for Seattle, and then they get their open week. They've got to get it going right now. The brotherhood has to come together for Atlanta. And Falcons fans everywhere excited that Devontae Freeman is back on the field wearing number 24 in the red and black. Remember, he went down in Week 2 in 2018 with an injury and didn't return. They're hoping to see the form that led him to 1,000-yard seasons in 2015 and 2016.
Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
Calvin Ridley more than justified his first-round selection in 2018. 64 catches as a rookie and found the end zone 10 times. Did a nice job getting open right there and picking up a first down.
Set 60 Pittsburgh. No chance.
Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he's going to be met at about the 43. In on the tackle there, Bobby Wagner, coming off a 3rd straight All-Pro season.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 7, Shaw. Jones hit, and the ball's out. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 31-yard line. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. He probably talked about his training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. Now Shaw. He's got Freeman here. It's complete. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. Well, they tried to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Back to the running game. It's Freeman. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
They got to get it to the 21 here on 3rd down. Here's Shaw. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So a field goal try here on 4th down as the Falcons call on Matt Bryant. From the left hash, this from 46. The kick by Bryant is good. And they are on the board. It's now 9-3. Maybe a little fortunate there. That was leaking a little, maybe leaking a lot, but he got it.
Yeah, he actually was able to make it work. How about the body language, though, right? As he watched that ball leak to the right, trying to bring it back in, and had just enough to get it done.
So here comes the kickoff, and what now is just a one-score, 6-point game. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Wilson, the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 27. From the gun, it's Wilson. He'll find Metcalf. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a 1st down. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Wilson now off the bootleg. Rolling to his left. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. Wilson after the play fake to Carson. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 30. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now it's Carson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. First down Seattle on a pickup of 13.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. This is Carson. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. On the stop there defensively, Tyler Davison.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
On 2nd down, it's Carson, and he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. David Moore there to make the grab. Yeah, the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further.
All drives that result in points hurt a defense, but when they are the sustained variety, play after play, and they just can't get off the field and stop them, that can be demoralizing.
And there's going to be a stoppage here. The booth wants to take another look at this potential touchdown.
Wilson's pass complete to David Moore. Touchdown, Seattle.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. The extra point now coming from Myers. And the lead is now 13. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. After the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score.
Jonah, 90, Wolf.
Here we go, D. Here I come again. Here I come again. Here I come again.
Snap.
The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Check 26, check 26. Ready.
On the draw, this will be Freeman. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 yards there, first down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
They'll run on first down. It's Freeman. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Chubb. And he is going to go down. He will be sacked on the final play of this first quarter. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. Back now in Atlanta, second quarter action. The Falcons with the football as they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dime. They'll set up a throw. And it's complete. Hooper. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 42. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback and his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And now a 10th carry for Freeman. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd and 9, Chubb. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
The Falcons on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Now back to throw. And he will go down inside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. That's Ziggy Ansah, the number 5 pick in 2013, credited with a sack.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. The Falcons send out their punter. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They run it with Carson. And an alley to run. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. 3rd down turns to 1st with that 5-yard pickup.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
Throwing on 2nd down. Wilson. And his throw is incomplete. David Moore, the intended target. And it's 3rd down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. Wilson to throw on 3rd down. Steps away. He may try and run for this. And they'll bring him down right at midfield, and he is well short of the first down. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
And they had an extra defensive back on the field on that play, and the coverage was excellent. He tried to pull it down and run for it, but they rallied to him and kept him short of a first down.
Now here's Michael Dixon. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. Atlanta now coming out on the field. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
It's our field. Hey, it's our house.
Be careful.
They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on 1st down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Coming to you.
This is Freeman. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This time it's 3rd and 3. From the gun, it's a run for Freeman. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
The Falcons send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Well, let's gaze our attention as the offense takes the field on Rashad Penny. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far here in the 2nd quarter. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 20. Now it's Wilson. It's caught. Lockett. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
The throw over the middle taken in. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Wilson now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's 1st down. Draw play. This is Carson. Pushing tacklers aside, and just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
On second down now, it's Carson, and he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He wants it all for the end zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
On comes the Seahawk kicker here on 4th down. It's Jason Myers. This from 54 yards away. And no, it doesn't get there. Hits the crossbar, bounces back out. He had it online, but it comes up about a rotation short. Well, he had that one on target. That's half the battle. The other half of the battle, however, is distance.
And he nearly had that, too. But it was the crossbar that said otherwise, and that'll deny him a shot at 3.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
So after the missed long field goal attempt, this offense set up nicely at the 44-yard line. They go play action here on 1st down. And he gets this one to Ridley complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. Here's Freeman. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
If they're going to get a 1st down out of this, they're going to have to earn it because there's been tough going in the interior there. And here we are on 3rd and 1. Be prepared. Brace yourself. Going to be some contact going on.
The Falcons on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. A handoff. Devontae Freeman. Yeah, Freeman was trying to work his way forward, but I don't think he got there. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The Falcons send out their punter as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. Chris Carson trotting back out there. A good job in the passing game. Decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. Throwing is Wilson. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. In for the sack, Deion Jones.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. After the sack, here's 2nd and 11. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Wilson. That's caught by Hollister. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Here's Wilson. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. Here's Wilson. He'll buy some time right. He can run for it, and he will. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. The rushing numbers for Wilson may be down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. And he's going to lose a yard or 2, taken down behind the line. Vic Beasley able to collapse the pocket, get to him, and drop him for a loss of a yard.
How many times have we sat with coordinators, and especially the defensive guys, that have talked about big plays, sacks? They often come in bunches. Well, it may not be a bunch here, but that is the 3rd sack of the game for them.
And around sack 3 or 4, I would think it starts to get in the quarterback's head a little bit.
Not just the quarterback, the offensive play caller, the offensive line, knocks people off balance and changes what they normally do.
The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11.
I got you, boy. I got you, boy.
Now Wilson. Wilson's got it complete. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Now Wilson on 3rd down. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. And now let's discuss Julio Jones. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us. But sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game.
Ready. 10 logo.
Time to go, night. Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end. 4 down.
Come. Hit it.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. All right, CD, let's have a little fun. Now that we're into October, I'm going to give you some AFC teams. You tell me quickly, contender or pretender. You ready?
Yes, let's do it.
All right, let's start in the East. Buffalo.
Contender for a wild card spot.
Okay, how about the Chargers?
Pretender.
AFC North, the Steelers.
Contender because the AFC North is a jumble.
Okay, and then lastly, let's go to the South, Jacksonville.
Pretender. Houston now in control.
Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. Now Freeman, he's been busy today. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
We got this.
The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. On the heels of that good carry by Devontae Freeman, here's 1st and 10.
Get that ball.
They'll look to throw here. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
That was a nice catch, but unable to stay in bounds. And remember, it wasn't a wide receiver who works on that all the time.
I was going to say, he likes to get the ball handed to him. Now, don't get me wrong, he's part of the passing game as well, but maybe a little out of his comfort zone there.
Yeah, he might want to have a few words to say to us about that later, but I am still going with you on that one. Wide receivers work out a little bit more.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter. A lot of time to change things. He goes underneath to Freeman. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Atlanta. First down now, but that clock rolling. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. A pair of first downs gives them a 1st and 10 up at the 44. They'll set up to throw. Gets it off to Freeman. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. So we've come upon halftime with the visiting Seahawks. They're out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one has been a hard-hitting affair to this point, and you got to expect we'll see more of the same in the second half. And to bring the action your way, let's get it right back out to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for him. Freeman. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now Sham. And that is incomplete. Austin Hooper, the intended receiver, and it'll bring up 3rd down. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Ready?
He'll drop to throw. Looking downfield for Jones. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
The Falcons send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. So possession goes over here on the punt, and it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 22. Here's a handoff to Carson to begin the drive. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Now Wilson. It's complete to Lockett. 7 yards there and a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
380.
Mike is 59. Mike is 59.
380.
Get him.
From the 38, Wilson. That's complete into the hands of Carson.
Wilson's pass complete to Chris Carson. It's a gain of 4, and it's 3rd down.
And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary, now on 3rd.
Got to do better.
From the shotgun, Wilson trying to lay one up deep. That's caught inside the 20. It's a big play there for Seattle. And even 40 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Wilson now off the bootleg. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Vic Beasley picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
And that's his 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now it's Wilson, sliding out of the pocket. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Russell Wilson, 28 yards. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit, get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what, whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever, this was a big score to start the second half.
Pete Carroll in that familiar hands-on knees pose. His guys will go for 2 here. From the gun, it's Wilson. They'll roll him out right. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. After the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
Check back, check back. Check 99, check 99.
They'll try to get the ground game going with Freeman. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
You must be getting tired.
Here's Shaw. And finding the tight end, Hooper. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And they'll get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the first by a few yards. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really looked clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Here's a throw, complete right side to start things out. And down he'll go at the 25. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Check curls, check curls, check curls.
Wilson after the play fake to Carson. He'll have a first down past the 40 as they finally wrangle him in at the 48. 23 yards on the tuck and run.
Well, to me, this leads to the question, do you admire the way he puts his body out there all the time, or do you think he should protect himself a little bit more?
Well, he's been on the ground several times with all those sacks that he's taken. So, I don't know. I kind of admire him not sliding down there, don't you?
I'm with you on that one. The meter definitely leans towards admiration.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Oh, they'll try the sweep. It's Lockett with it. Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. That kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. The tight end, Luke Wilson, was the target, and it's 3rd and short. But one thing's for sure, they're still taking their shots downfield, even with a big lead.
No, I think it's way too early to go into a shell, so I like what they're doing. Continue to take your shots. Continue to be aggressive. It's not their job to slow themselves down.
They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. He'll find Metcalf. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line.
Now that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. His throw incomplete. Austin Hooper, the tight end, was the intended target, and that'll bring up second down. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays, I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary here. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. A CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
10-2 soft.
I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run you over.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. He was looking for Julio Jones, his Pro Bowl receiver, and now it's second down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Quentin Jefferson forced his way through, drops him for a loss of 10 yards.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now back to throw. And that is incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
The Falcons send out their punter as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Now it's Lockett. That's a 49-yard punt, 8 though on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the third quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your coach? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Watch the slants. Watch the slants.
They run again with Carson. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
280. Check my 45. I hope you brought your left because I'm about to take you to school.
On third down, Carson. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now, 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
On 2nd and 9, Wilson, and that is incomplete here.
But plain and simple, that's the 2nd time today that he's dropped a pass.
And that one, I think, maybe even a little easier than the earlier one that he dropped. Surprising.
Was this game announced as a night game prior to, and maybe his rhythm is just off? He's got thrown off. He's got to wake up, enjoy the sunshine, and go play.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. He may try and run for this. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
You and I both know most coaches are really fearful about their quarterbacks running with the ball. They don't want them to take that big hit. I don't think they worry about that with Russell Wilson. He's so smart in what he does, and we just saw it there on that scramble.
Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. Now it's Wilson. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Seahawks, they're able to stretch that lead out a bit further.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Now Myers for the extra point. And that'll increase their lead to 28. So this drive spans 7 plays. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And back onto the field now comes Devontae Freeman. After some early struggles running the ball, they've really picked it up. Early it just seemed like there were no holes there. Now all of a sudden the holes seem to be there. I don't know if that's just my imagination.
And give them credit that they kept their confidence, because sometimes when you get stuffed big in the running game early, especially for an entire half, it really makes you retreat a little bit, but not this group. They always have the confidence. If they just get their assignments down, they would get in sync with their runners, and off they went.
You're not ready.
Get it.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. It's hauled in by Hardy.
Many teams, as soon as they spot man defense, if they haven't called a hitch, they'll get to it as fast as they can. They want to put the ball in the hands of one of their best playmakers and hope that he can break a tackle on the outside and go for big yardage.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. A 20th carry now for Freeman. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Again, they'll run with Freeman. And he's going to be stopped short of a first down as they'll get to him at about the 33. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
The Falcons send out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows the punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
And out now come the Seahawks. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Yeah, still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
A good start to the drive. Here's that's caught out on the left side. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Wilson now nearing the 300-yard mark with still a quarter to play. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. Vic Beasley able to make the tackle.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple yards out of it, because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Line 59. Watch the run. Watch the run. Watch the run.
From the 30 on 2nd down. Wilson looking left sideline, incomplete. It was Ricardo Allen there on the coverage.
Well, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away, turned into a nice play.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Rolling to his right. He can run for it, and he will. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a first.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
Now, this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Hey, come on out here. Come get some. Come get some. Come out here. Come get some.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Lady, come to my world. We want it. Come to my world.
They go read option with Wilson. And no pitch there and no chance either as he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know. Defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. The last 2 plays, each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12.
Everyone's got 4.
Off the play fake, here's Wilson. That's caught by Hollister. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a 1st down.
And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. And here now come the Falcons. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Let's go now. 18 Gator.
Hey, that QB's trash. Let's go.
Clear. Ready.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. It's a gain of 16, 1st down Falcons.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Let's go, D. Let's go.
Looking to throw. This one caught by Ridley. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 14 yards there on a Falcon 1st down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones is intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Tight down. There you go.
On 2nd and 10, Chubb. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They'll look to throw. Complete to Jones. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
You got nothing.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He's going to air one out. This is caught. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Julio Jones. 42 yards. And the Falcons get a bit closer. Wow, talk about a big 4th down conversion for the score. Defensively, how do you let that happen?
I think you start with the offense, and you give them credit for going for it and having that type of, well, let's face it, audacity. But defensively, I think you're right on target, partner. There's no way something like that's supposed to happen in that situation. You're supposed to be able to shut that down and get the ball back for your own team. Instead, they give up not just a big play, but a touchdown.
Bryant tacks on the extra point, and that'll cut the lead back down to 21. That time a 6-play drive, and the end result, an Atlanta touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at the 3. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They built up that lead at intermission, and they're just continuing to pour it on right now, aren't they?
Locked into a really good groove right now. I don't know if it's just the play calling. I know the execution is really, really sharp right now, and all the playmakers are doing exactly what you expect. They're making plays, and right now, defense has no answer and no chance of catching up.
Yeah, they're just looking to turn anywhere for a stop defensively. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 23. They'll begin the drive with Carson. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there, and now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Five men in the secondary now for the Falcons on 3rd down. Here's Wilson to throw. Short pass to the tight end, Hollister. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 15, first down Seahawks. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish, because strategy would tell you run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
What? 280.
Mike 45.
On first down, it's Carson. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on third down.
Looked at me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
Well, partner, Marvin, our number 1 stats guy, just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line has executed well today to try and get him over 100 yards.
Right back to him on first down. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Here we go, let's bring it.
Now a give, right side. Carson, and he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
On second down, here's Penny. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. They get the first. The decision to run on 3rd and medium winds up being a good one.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
Big series right here. We got to step it up.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Carson. And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line. Good gain there on first down, and keeps him in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Starting to look like this drive, it may be the final nail in the coffin.
Well, this is why you work out so hard, right? This is why you spend all that time in the offseason. This is why you have those OTAs and mini camps for these situations, these scenarios, to run someone into the ground and secure a victory.
What? 280!
Hey, we got to get this stop here, D.
Well, throw on first down with Wilson. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying, no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Wilson's got it complete. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And Myers able to knock it through, and that will extend the lead out to 24. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Let's go. 60 or 54. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Let's go.
Now Sean. This complete to Jones. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Here's Shaw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. The intended target was Calvin Ridley, and it's 3rd and short. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there, Keeps the sticks moving.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. Complete over the middle to Hardy. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes, and they were able to put the receiver on the ground.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. And finding the tight end, Hooper. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
He'll look to throw. It's caught. Jones. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll look to throw here. Caught by Jones. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. He'll drop to throw. Jones has it. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Back to throw again. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Quentin Jefferson able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
Now they got to get to the line quickly. Another try after the 1st down sack. Chubb back in the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the left hash, this from 34. And Bryant's kick is good. And they get a little bit closer here as the lead's down to 3 touchdowns. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
Let's go, baby.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field.
And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point.
What? 380.
Hey, they scared. They scared. Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
380.
They'll run on first down. Carson. Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
What? 280.
Double time. Double time. Hey. Hey, we got 4. We got 4 down. 4 down.
What?
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Carson, and he is going to be stopped here at the line of scrimmage, and time is going to expire in this football game.
So the victory here for Seattle. And you look back over the score sheet, interesting. A very clean game, no turnovers by either side.
An absolute rarity when we watch games now because defenses have put such an emphasis on taking the ball away. Well, what we saw here was offenses spending their time saying, look, you know they're coming for it. Ball security is paramount. So they worked on that not just a week of practice, but I'm sure all during training camp. Make sure when you have it, tuck it away because danger lurks everywhere you turn.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. Till next time, we say so long from Atlanta.